I'm going to grease this Yanmar excavator up this morning so I can dig what I term as a ditch, and what will ultimately end up being more of a canal. This little machine's doing a lot of work for us. We're going to try to keep it up and keep her going. I'm going to get the Massey Ferguson backhoe tractor going this spring as well. And they both have different uses and different purposes, but ultimately they're all good diggers. So when I put this ditch in here last year, I think it was last year, it's kind of pretty level. I mean, it does have some fall to it, but not enough fall for small rainfalls to clear the silt out of the ditch. So I'm going to try to put enough fall on this thing to meet the ditch down below. The only thing I've got to deal with is the bedrock around this edge of this hill. And when I originally dug this, I did encounter some rocky stuff, so we'll see how it turns out. I may have to get a jackhammer in there to jackhammer some of the areas down. We're going to end up with a pretty good sized berm, which I want on this ditch. We have a good rain event. I don't want that washing out the flat area I built, so I want all of the moisture from the bowl up above that drains into this ditch to drain down the ditch, clean the ditch, something to make it self-cleaning basically if it has enough fall to it. And if you get too much fall, then it leaves silt on the edges too. It's kind of like a sewer pipe. You have too much fall, it leaves the solids on the sides and then eventually plugs things up anyway. But try to get enough fall on this that it'll be self-cleaning and make a good ditch out of this. Now this first part of this video is probably going to be a 2 or 3 part video, but right behind the excavator is a big rock, and I routed that ditch originally through the center of 2 big rocks, and I'm going to try to continue to keep that there as long as I can dig it deep enough, around through those rocks. And it just gives me more flat area over here to use for parking our trailers and stuff, and I want to keep that ditch hugging that hillside anyway. So the first part of this will be just up to that rock, and then the second part from the rock on, and hopefully I can finish this video up in 2 parts, but don't want to make them too long. My internet connection isn't fast enough to upload. So down to that big rock, I've got pretty good fall, kind of like I wanted. Ended up with a good berm. Now what I'm probably going to do is flatten the top off that berm and make it so I can run on top of it. That makes digging that ditch easier. And here at that big rock, I'm going to stack enough dirt around it where I can put the excavator right up on top of the rock to finish digging around that corner between those two big rocks. And actually there's more than two rocks, but the two main big rocks anyway. Get around that corner and then I'll position the excavator on the other side and finish pulling down to the ditch. So that entire ditch was basically down into kind of a rocky, gravelly type stuff, and that stuff isn't hard enough to be solid rock. It actually, with moisture, it softens up and becomes mud. But down towards the two big rocks that I'm talking about, I did hit some bedrock, but I was able to scratch down it and keep my fall going on the ditch line, kind of like I wanted. So that's good up to this point.